First bill up is House File 3579. And who would like to move the bill? I will move House File 3579. And welcome Representative Myers, and let's hear about your bill.
Thank you, Chair Anderson and Chair Hansen. I'm really excited to be here today. I was told I could do a couple puns because I did bring the cookies. So, this is a bipartisan bill. I do want to thank Representative Burkle as well as Representative Smith, and an unlikely pairing in the Senate of Senator May Quaid and Senator Westrom are carrying this bill and had a good hearing over there. Food shelves are near and dear to me. Been a volunteer for the last 10 years, sat on the board for the last several. I've seen the impact that our local communities can do, and I'm looking for always options and opportunities to grow the ability for food rescue or donations. Food shelves and hunger relief organizations face increasing demand, limited supply of protein-rich foods, and currently safe, nutritious eggs are being discarded due to date labeling restrictions here in Minnesota. So under current law, eggs may not be sold after their quality assurance date. The definition of sale includes donations, so eggs past their quality assurance date may not be donated. So this bill is looking for your support to modify the language that would allow eggs to be donated and distributed by hunger relief organizations past their quality assurance date to be donated past the labeled date. It's also going to maintain that food safety protection and expand access to that high protein that Minnesotans in need are looking for. And I do have one testifier.
Good afternoon. Identify yourself and proceed with your testimony.
Wonderful. Chair Hansen and members of the committee, thank you for allowing me to testify today in support of House File 3579. My name is Jessica Francis, and I am the Executive Director of Open Cupboard, which has locations in Oakdale and Maplewood. We operate a food rescue program that includes 17 grocery partners, 8 wholesale distributor partners, and 5 convenience store partners. Through our 4 core programs, our Today's Harvest Markets, our mobile food shelf, our drive-up service, and home delivery, Open Cupboard meets people where they are, ensuring fresh access to fresh and healthy food without cost or without barriers. Each week, more than 6,000 households turn to our Today's Harvest Markets as a trusted and welcoming food resource. By rescuing food that would otherwise go to waste and partnering with farmers and retailers, volunteers and donors, Open Cupboard is building community resiliency. Our markets are centered on fresh food, items that are highly sought after and best when they reach the consumer quickly. Our markets are open 6 days a week without appointment or geographic restrictions, making fresh food accessible in a dignified and welcoming environment. Today, the need for that access is greater than ever. 1 in 5 Minnesotans cannot afford the food that they need. In 2025, Minnesotans made more than 9 million visits to food shelves, setting a record for the 4th consecutive year. I know at our Maplewood location on Friday, we hit a record level of service just on Friday. Rising grocery prices and reductions in critical food programs have driven demand to historic highs, and food banks and food shelves across the state are operating beyond capacity. At the same time, sourcing food is becoming more difficult due to supply chain disruptions, climate pressures, and other factors that are beyond our control. That's why the reliable, steady supply of donations from retail partners is so essential. More than 30% of the food that we distribute at Open Cupboard comes from retailers in our communities who donate items from every department every day. These partnerships ensure that good food becomes meals rather than landfill, nourishing people while reducing waste. They are efficient, safe, and proven systems, and any opportunity to expand them benefits everyone involved. And so that brings me to eggs. Statewide surveys, our shopper feedback, our daily experience proves that protein is one of the most in-demand and hardest to access food categories for food shelf shoppers. Eggs are one of the most versatile protein sources that we can offer, making them extremely popular. But due to high prices and limited supply, there have been times where we've gone months without a consistent or affordable source. This bill is a no-cost solution at a time of unprecedented need. If passed, it'll allow retailers to donate eggs past the date on the package, eggs that are still safe and still usable, so they can be included in the dairy donations and distributed through local food shelves across the state. This will create a more consistent and reliable source of this much-needed protein, while also reducing food waste across our state. It's a win for retailers and food shelves, a win for the environment, a win for Minnesotans accessing food through our state's hunger relief system, and ultimately a win for Minnesota. Thank you very much for your time and consideration.
Thank you, ma'am. Anybody from the audience who would care to testify on the bill? Representative Hanson.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just a couple of questions, either the testifier or the department or the author. So we have the expiration dates for a reason for food safety. And the current law allows donation, but not continued sale. We have to stop selling at a certain. And I'm assuming the reason for that is because of food safety. We don't sell it anymore or don't allow those sales. So why would we allow donation to poor people if there's a food safety concern?
Ms. Francis? Or Representative Meyer?
Yeah, I'm happy to take that. You know, I worked with the department on this to make sure that we still have those parameters in place to ensure that food that's coming in is still safe. Working with them, they felt, you know, that they supported this language. As a, you know, doing a food rescue myself, you know, we run into those things. There's those extra parameters in there that, including the labeling and ensuring that they're maintained, that I think provides that safety.
Follow-up, Chair Hanson?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Maybe if the department could point to what they feel is enough protection on the food safety.
Anybody from the department want to come up? State your name, sir, and tell us where you work and who do you represent?
Yes, thank you. My name is Levi Mull. I am the Assistant Director for our Dairy, Meat, and Poultry and Egg Inspection Program at MDA, Minnesota Department of Agriculture. To answer the question, there's a difference between food safety and food quality. And in eggs particularly, there are many studies by either USDA, AMS, and FSIS, as well as the Incredible Eggs, so it's the American Egg Board, that shows that eggs will last many weeks past the quality assurance date, and it's really a quality issue, and that's what the quality assurance date actually means, is that it's a quality issue, not a food safety issue, and we are in full support of the language as written.
Chair Hanson?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I understand that about the food quality assurance. How do we ensure food safety for the donated eggs?
Go ahead, sir.
Yes, thank you, Chair and committee members. So the American Egg Board and USDA AMS requires that those eggs are refrigerated and they continue to maintain under refrigeration to keep the quality and the food safety of those eggs. Therefore, as the draft language in here, there's labeling requirements as well as refrigeration requirements, ensuring that as long as those eggs are refrigerated, they will last many weeks past that quality assurance date for food safety.
Chair Hanson?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I think we have a variety of opinion on our side on this. You know, where is this going, Mr. Chair?
Oh, where are my notes here? General Register.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any other questions from members? Representative Burkle.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'll be quick too. I just want to mention for the record that in a lot of cases, food you're seeing in the stores has either a best if purchased by, it's not necessarily an expiration date, it's more of a sell-by date. So it's just good to see that these eggs are going to end up being used by somebody who could really use them. In a lot of cases, consumers are bypassing, because they have that choice. We heard that, we talked about that in committee a couple of weeks back. The choice of whether to buy the very fresh eggs or, go to the back of the shelf and put the, or buy the eggs that are a little less close to the expiration date, or the best by date, or the sell-by date. So I think we have to differentiate between what people are actually buying and what we're actually donating here. This is a good bill, and it really makes sense for folks who are in need. Thank you.
Comment, Representative Smith?
Thank you, Chair, and thank you to the author, Representative Myers. Thank you for bringing this to me. I was happy to put my name on there as a co-author with you because members know I've talked about this a couple times in this committee. I think the primary focus we should have is helping people through a time where food insecurity is only growing worse in Minnesota. You go to your local food bank, ask them about usage rates, and they are increasing. And we are on the precipice of something that will increase even more. April 1st is when those work requirements I talked about a couple of weeks ago will go into effect for able-bodied folks under 65. The Strait of Hormuz has continued to be closed. We know that somewhere between 30 and 50% of the fertilizer that is globally traded goes through that strait at some point. So we know in this committee, if fertilizer goes up, food costs are going to rise. And if food costs rise, people aren't able to purchase the same amount of food they did previously. So a bill like this may seem small, but having more eggs at food banks could be lifelines for certain people in our state, Minnesotans, who need protein, and this is a very affordable protein that people can have access to. So thank you for this bill. I think this is the work we need to continue to do in this committee.
Thanks, Representative Smith. Any other questions from members? Seeing none, final comments, Representative Meyer.
Yeah, I just want to thanks everybody for the discussion. As I said, I've seen firsthand the increase in our local food shelves. It could be at Channel One Food Bank. It could be at West Tonka Food Shelf in my district. But I think this bill has seen broad support both from retailers, producers, hunger relief organizations. We can increase those donations, help reduce food waste, and align with food safety. So I'm hoping the members can see this bill as a vote sunny side up.
After hearing that, I think the vote
to
could
try.
be in doubt here, but all those in favor of, I would renew my motion that House File 3579 be referred to the General Register. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. No. The motion passes, and the bill is on its way. Thanks, Representative Myers.